Hello, friends. How's it going out there in LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook land? Having an all right day over here, and actually going to take most of the rest of the day off. Actually, the whole rest of the day. I don't know why I said most of. I'm done. This is it. This is my last responsibility before my work day comes to a close. So welcome in. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to day 27, I think, of 30 Days Live. It's been a fun ride. I'm actually pretty excited for it to be done. I think 21 days would have been maybe like a little bit more reasonable. I don't know. Who knows? But it has been a really interesting endeavor to be in this challenge and to have a partner in it and have accountability and a cheerleading buddy and like all of the things that make doing things easier. And if you haven't watched yesterday's live, I actually went live with Katie as a last minute, we both still have to go live today kind of decision. And we talked about the people you have in your corner and having people in your corner and going it alone versus having your people. And I don't think I would have done this 30 days in a row live without having Katie both on my side and holding the keys to the consequence if I did not go live every day, which for me was taking an objectively bad photo in the pose of her choice. And if you know Katie, you know she has a hot dog costume. So I imagine there would have been something related to some sort of costuming involved. But I'm doing it. So I've got today, tomorrow, Friday, and then our final live we're going to do together on Saturday. So keep joining us, keep watching. Send in your questions and your topic ideas. This will not be the end of my live streaming. It will be the end of my daily live streaming. And then I'm going to have an easy week next week because I'm going on a vacation. So today we're going to talk about responsibility versus fault. And this is a big topic with my clients, with a lot of people in my community, with the people pleasers that I know and love, including myself. And so often when I talk to potential clients, when I talk to people in my community, when I talk to clients, we leave things off with, well, it's my own fault because. And I'll give you a few examples of this. It's my own fault because I asked to be let into the room and have a seat at the table. It's my own fault because I wanted to get promoted. It's my own fault because I raised my hand for it and I said I would do it. It's my own fault because I don't know how to say no. It's my own fault because I let myself get so wrapped up in my work that I don't take time to do anything else. Are you getting where I'm going with all of this? So we play this game with ourselves where we say, it's like a terrible game. It's like a losing game, right? I'm the winner of things being my fault. So I lose because I won at things being my fault. Is that what just happened? And I saw a post not too long ago from a creator on LinkedIn who was talking about, specifically, she was talking about women in the workplace. And she basically said, it is your fault. You're the one who accepted all of these assignments. You're the one who doesn't say no. You're the one who doesn't set boundaries. And, basically it's your fault. And everybody came into the comments and they were like, F you, lady. And I don't think they were wrong. My F you to her was very kind, but it was very, I don't know if she saw it as kind, but it was very like in defense of, because I am a people pleaser. It didn't come from like one day I woke up and I was like, I'm going to destroy myself and I'm going to make it my fault. And so blame me, shame on me, right? It's not how it works. We don't make these conscious decisions to people please. And fault is when you accidentally or on purpose do something destructive and you shouldn't have done it. And so, for example, if I have an accident, a car accident, that is my fault because I rear-ended the person in front of me because I wasn't paying attention. It's my fault. I shouldn't have done it. And I will give you my insurance information. If I intentionally say something mean to you, which like I would never, come on, me, come on. If I intentionally say something mean to you, that's my fault. It's not kind, right? So there's the intentional and the unintentional levels of fault. And then there is responsibility, right? So if something is my fault, I get to take responsibility for it or not. If something is not my fault, I also get to take responsibility for it or not. So for my people pleasers out there, my perfectionists, my workaholics, my people who don't know how to say no, my bad boundary setters, all of which I've been and all of which I sometimes backslide into because I'm human. Don't tell others. Don't tell the others, but I'm a human. There's a level of fault that we take. There's a level of self-blame that we say, well, I'm a people pleaser. I can't say no. I can't set boundaries. I can't do it. And it's my fault that I got into this because I never learned how to set boundaries. Okay, so let's stop right there. Nobody taught you to set boundaries. We are not raised, and women, I'm talking to you in particular, non-binary folks, I'm probably talking to some of you too. And I'm talking to some men who were raised in households where they were given a lot of responsibility and not allowed to say no. I see it more commonly in women and non-binary folks, but I see it everywhere. We assume that we were supposed to have learned something along the way that other people who we see seem to have learned, and that because we missed the lesson along the way of boundary setting, of standing for ourselves, of saying no in appropriate ways, that we did it wrong, that it's our own fault. And it's not. It is not your fault that nobody taught you the lessons. You also are not responsible for having been a child or a teenager or a very young adult who didn't get the lessons, who didn't hear the lessons, who didn't have some form of elder, whether it was parents or teachers or early bosses, who taught you, say no. I was raised in Generation X, and I and the boomers and the elder millennials and some of the younger millennials and even some of the Gen Zers, even though some of us don't believe that, were raised in a community of people who were taught to say yes and be helpful and listen to your boss and don't challenge what they say and all of that. And did that come from parents or teachers or elders or workplaces? Or yes, all of the above. That's what we learned. That's what our parents learned. So there's no fault along any of that, really. The fault lays with just it happened, right? The fault is the universe. Sorry, universe. Love you. And also, now that we're here, now that we're standing here, right now, and we are 30 and 40 and 50 and 60 and 70 and 80 years old, we get to take responsibility. That is our right. As adult humans, we get to say this happened. We get to diffuse our own fault that we feel around it. Some of that happens through coaching and some of that happens through therapy. But we have the right and responsibility to ourselves to say, I'm not here to blame however this happened. Instead, I want to look at where I am today, where I am here and now, and how things are today, here and now. And I want to be able to say, what do I want to do with this? And take responsibility for what my future is. So I want to go in and say, I've been doing this report for 5 years here. It has never really fallen under my purview, and I need to figure out where it goes now. Here are my suggestions. Boss, can you help me figure out how to put this in the right place? Or we learn to say, I need to start leaving at 5 o'clock 2 days a week. And it's going to be Tuesday or Thursday. It's Tuesday and Thursday. Or I'm going to start leaving at 5, or I'm going to take lunch breaks, or I'm going to take a coffee break, or I'm going to say no to that meeting because I don't really actually need to be in it. We get to take responsibility for what is next. We get to take responsibility for how we want things to be, and then we get to make that happen. And the mistake that we make, that again is not our fault, the mistake we make is that we try to do it ourselves because we are high achievers, we are helpers, we are people pleasers. We see so many opportunities to help other people, and then we block ourselves from allowing other people to help us, from allowing ourselves to receive help. And I will tell you personally, my life did not change until I started letting people in and letting people help me, which still is hard for me. It's still hard for me to be going through something challenging and say, I need another person. I now have friends in my life who say, like, I'm going to help you. Like, they don't really give me the choice. But first I had to let them in and let them help me. And when I did, when I started allowing that, when I hired my coach, when I found the right therapist for me, and not just a therapist, but the right therapist, I started learning that I could allow people to help me, and not only allow, but also say, like, I need you to help me with this. I have learned to say, I don't need you to help me with this. I don't need support here. I'm going to do this on my own. Or I need my time and space. I can't help you with this right now. Right? That's work, though. That takes time. It takes energy. And the mistake we make is trying to do all of the things by ourselves because we're so good at helping others that we make this assumption that others can't help us, that there's like this pyramid of people who help each other. And we help the people on the lower levels of the pyramid, not because they are less than us, not because they have some level of mediocrity that we don't have, not because of a God complex, but because it's what got handed to us and we accepted it. And we said, I can help all of these people, and then I can help these people, and then I can help these people. And at the top of this responsibility pyramid, it's not like an elitist pyramid. It's just a responsibility pyramid that we've had created for us or created ourselves, or however it happened, it happened. And we look around and we see that there's this whole faction of people that we can help. And we don't look across at the other pyramids and see who the other high achievers are, who the other helpers are, who the other people who have expertise are, who can help us. And that is what I do. That is what my coach does for me. That is what the people who I am in circles with right now, a lot of whom are entrepreneurs or corporate executives, that is what we do for each other and with each other to help ourselves and each other be successful. And that is the perspective. That's the perspective of taking responsibility, not being at fault, but taking responsibility, starting from where you are and saying, what now? Not starting from where you've been and saying, well, I effed it all up all of these years. There's no coming back from this. There is coming back. My clients tend to be in their 30s to 50s, and they have been working for 10 or 15 or 30 years or more. And they have been in these boundaryless kinds of positions. They've been underpaid. They've been undertitled. They've been underrepresented. They've been underappreciated. And they don't want that anymore. And in just the last week or 2 weeks, a couple of my clients have started new jobs. One of my clients has pulled herself out of a job that she was offered because it wasn't the right fit for her. All of my clients, though, work on these boundary issues. All of my clients are working on untangling and undoing the lessons that they learned through their early and mid careers, that they had to be helpful, that they had to listen to their bosses, that they had to do things the way that their bosses told them to do them, that they had no choices, that this was just the way it was. And I help my clients prove over and over again that it doesn't have to continue to be that way. So if there's one thing I want you to do today, I want you to think about something you're blaming yourself for, that you're saying is your fault, that you're beating yourself up for. And ask yourself, what now? And if the only thing you know about what now is that you want out of the situation, but you don't know how, that's when you should set up a time to talk with me to see if executive coaching is for you. Doesn't have to be for you. I do not do a high pressure sales call. I will tell you what it's like to work with me. I will ask you a bunch of questions about you, and then you get to decide if you want to do that or not. Super low pressure. And if anybody ever gets on a strategy call or a discovery call or a sales call or an intro call or a coffee chat with you, and they say, I'm not letting you off this call until you say yes, just get off the call. Just hang up the phone or the Zoom or whatever. Just get out of there. That's not somebody that you want to be doing business with, because you get to decide. So what will you decide that you're going to take responsibility for, and how will you do it? I'm excited to find out. So DM me, send me a comment, set up a strategy call, however you want to get in touch with me. I'm excited to hear how this live lands with you and this topic lands with you. And that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.